Good morning, everybody. It's the 28th of October. We are Signal Centre Talking Ball. I'm Joe Neighbour, joined by Steve O'Hare. Morning, Steve.
Good morning.
Almost made it to the end of the month.
Yeah, well, yeah, you have almost, because you won't be here tomorrow as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
Part-timer.
part-timer. Half term, mate. Got to get some holiday in.
Yeah, so it's half term. Normally it's half term this week, for sort of like the private school people. So
We're not involved in that category, mate. We're not doing that
no,
well.
very wise choice, mate.
Yeah.
Don't get involved in that.
No, for some reason our schools around here operate on slightly different timetables, so we get an extra week in October, which means we get nice cheap holidays.
Lovely.
Mm.
That's good. And yeah, hopefully no plan B lockdown type thing to stop that either. So you're just going to go, aren't you?
Yeah, so we've
Tomorrow.
had to do all manner of form filling and
Probes
tests.
inside and outside the body.
Yeah, well, the only one that had to have a test was Phoebe. She's 12, so
Okay.
anyone 12 and over has to have a test. She's had one vaccination, but that's not enough yet. So
Right. Okay.
Anyway, back to markets. It's rate decision day for the European Central Bank today. They are meeting at 12:30, 12:45 is the rate decision today. So that will be the key event. There is also quite a bumper day of earnings across the globe. In Europe, we've had Shell this morning, as well as some other big companies. We've got Sony in Asia. We've got in the US, Apple and Amazon, also MasterCard, Shopify and Starbucks. So really quite a big day, really, as we approach the end of the month. In terms of what else is going on, we had the budget yesterday in the UK. The Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rishi Sunak, unleashed a £75 billion worth of giveaways in the budget that defied predictions for fiscal restraint. So he's throwing it around left, right and centre, slashing taxes for pubs and restaurants, and earmarked billions of pounds for more infrastructure, education and worker skills. So winning a few votes with that by the looks of things.
Well done, Rishi.
Yeah, well done, Rishi. So elsewhere, I think really it's just all eyes on these data points today. There were a few other bits and pieces out, sort of Dan Loeb, who runs Third Point hedge fund. He's an activist investor. He's built a pretty substantial position in Royal Dutch Shell through a $750 million stake, and he's pushing for a breakup of the energy giant. He's done this a few times where he's gone in and tried to restructure businesses as part of his strategy. So wait and see if that's got any legs. But Steve, let's get stuck into some charts, shall we? Where would you like to kick things off today? What's caught your eye over the last 24 hours?
Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies, actually. It's caught my eye because my son Cameron, sitting next to me, is telling me what a wonderful coin he's got in Shibu. I'm trying to sort of like educate him slightly, but I don't know
You're
enough
warning him
about
off with these
Shibu.
massive reversal candles that we're
Yeah.
seeing on the weekly chart.
Well, I did. Yeah, basically, I'm sort of like, obviously I'm looking at Bitcoin, thinking Bitcoin will drag the other coins one way or the other, and we're seeing a bit of a reversal signs in the weekly chart to start with.
So just back to the Shiba thing. This is what a speculation bubble. Look at that. I mean, what does it actually do?
It does nada. It does nothing. But like in the last month,
and that's just Shiba Inu is the same dog that's on the Dogecoin, isn't it? Basically.
Yes, I think it is. Yeah, same breed of dog.
So it's another sort of meme coin, is it?
Yeah, and it was like yesterday I was chatting to Cam and he was saying, look, Dad, look how
he was
well I'm
planning his
doing.
future on that
Yeah,
candle, wasn't he?
I think, yeah, he got long around about here.
Nice.
So, yeah, no, he's trebled his money. Brilliant. And I did say yesterday, I said, look, I think
you've got to have to start charging him some rent now then.
Yeah, it won't be much. He didn't invest a huge amount, but he was saying yesterday, should have put all my savings into it, but not really a good idea to have 100% of your capital invested in one Shibu. But I was saying to him, look, this rally's on the back of lower volume, so it's not going to be sustainable. Be careful with it. I think Bitcoin's reversing because that was my cunt to the head yesterday. It will be my cunt to the head today because I'm becoming more convinced by it. And then overnight, there's been this big reversal. So he's taken a little bit of profit. I think he got out at quite decent levels. And if you want, get back in, or take partial profit, whatever you want to do. It's one of those coins that you don't know. The meme crowd get on it. Oh, sorry, who's it that runs the meme stocks or gets involved in meme
Reddit.
stocks? The Reddit crowd, if they get on it and start to sort of shove it, then it could go a lot higher. So there's not enough data really to sort of like be able to work out what's good or bad. Obviously that would be a good sell indicator breaking back below the oh, that's a 5-minute chart.
Wow.
Now that's an accident. I don't normally have 5-minute charts. No, I mean still in an uptrend really as far as the cloud's concerned on the hourly basis, but you're right back down to where it was 23rd of October if you wait for it to break the trend. So anyway, that's get that out of the way. Bitcoin for me is got some really decent signs. We're back below the 4-hour Ichimoku cloud. We've got this head and shoulders formation, I believe, is forming. We've broken the neckline of it, and I like it when it breaks below the sort of like the horizontal part of the neckline, which the left shoulder neckline or the right shoulder neckline may be lower. In this case, it's the left shoulder neckline is lower. That's around about 59,000. We're trading around there now, but we did close below it yesterday. So a little bit of a retest now today. Really looking to sell into that 60,000 level. I won't have that sort of choice, I don't think, by the time it comes to gun to head, but you never know. I think it's extending lower. The measured move target is just below 52,000. So that's where I favor on the Bitcoin side of things. Ethereum, bearish day yesterday, and again, same. It's having this similar sort of reversal back below the 4-hour Ichimoku cloud on here. So double top formation will be confirmed on a break of the neckline at 3,885. Although momentum has started to reverse, this negative momentum has started to reverse. It's running into a bit of resistance on the cloud. So see how that plays out. Ripple under a bit more pressure, but we've seen this like reversal in the last sort of like 4 hours after this sell-off yesterday. And Cardano, it's down at 195. So this for me is pretty negative. We had this level around about the $2 level, which has been broken. And I would look to be selling into that if it got back to $2 just above there. That's the cryptos out of the way. Ooh, what am I doing? Don't want to add more cryptos to it. Take a look at commodities. Get my glass out of the way. We're seeing a reversal on oil, and it's a bearish outside candle currently on WTI crude oil. So that's looking negative. So it doesn't look. We've had one. We'll count that as a positive candle, although it's negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 candles, Joe. And yeah, we're sort of seeing a reversal this week on crude oil. And although we're recovering from the swing low overnight, got down to $80.11, 81.38 trade now. So we've had a $1.20 bounce from there, which is slightly positive. But look at the 4-hour chart. We are underneath, we've broken out of the channel, which we drew. If you all remember, we've connected the first 2 bottom points, or 3 points, 4 points actually. So it's a good channel. I know, not every level is exact or specific. It's more of how it reacts around a sort of range of levels. So we can't sort of like hang on to just one level. It's almost a range. So finding resistance now at the cloud and the bottom of that channel we've broken out of. Again, I'd be feeling a bit negative towards that unless price action can break above the $82 level on WTI. On Brent, decent break of that channel, and we are well below the cloud. So Brent having a better technical reaction lower, and should face resistance around about the 83.50 to 83.65. Really needs to climb back above, get back into the channel around about $85 for that. So that looks like a bit of a tougher task for Brent crude oil. Natural gas is still seems to be pumping at the moment. Obviously, we've got the Russian impact that we're seeing, where Putin basically controls the world, and we're seeing this natural gas pushing back up towards the heady heights, $6.50. I think if we go back, we can see it's not the. Let's talk about these levels. It's the double bottom here, and there's two double bottoms basically. Both have different projected targets. 668 for me is the next line of resistance. That would be the neckline for this double bottom, and that would have a measured move target up to $11.50. So I still think there's a bit more to play out on the upside for natural gas. It's easy to say now that we've seen a really positive day yesterday. The volume hasn't been too shabby either. We're seeing this uptick here. We had the gap on the charts, which will be filled at some point, but not for a while now. And yeah, looks primed to push again after decent volume over the last 2 or 3 days. Gold is a little bit hit and miss at the moment. I still think we're in a bullish flag formation, looking to project higher to about $2,500 over the next sort of like 12 to 24 months. But in the meantime, we do have resistance coming in at 1833 to 35. That is where we've seen price action stall at 4 times. We're seeing this little bit of a channel upwards. Let's get a little let's try and draw a channel in, see how that looks. Something like that, where we've been up to 1815 or 1814 and rejected that. Looked to be on the sort of like back foot yesterday, but then we've seen buyers come in overnight and price action pushing higher. So it looks a little bit more positive on gold. I don't know what dollar's doing. Joe will show us in a minute, but I imagine dollar's a little bit weakened. Just seeing that reaction. I don't think there's any other fundamental news out there which will be affecting the dollar at the moment. Silver, again, same sort of push higher, although we really need to get above the 24.85 level to turn positive again, and that could sort of give us an indication of maybe an inverse head and shoulders formation. Look at the momentum, it's still sort of like dripping a bit lower, so there's a little bit of a correction going on short term, but yeah, further upside in silver potentially as well. Looking at the indices, price action has stalled in FTSE. We saw a bit of reversal yesterday on the indices, and that has continued overnight. FTSE down to 72.20, resistance coming in at 72.80, support really coming in at 71.80 on the daily basis, on the intraday basis rather. A little bit of a channel formation. We're still in the potential head and shoulders for DAX. It's rejected it quite nicely, this right shoulder, topping out just below where the left shoulder is. So further downside potentially still there, but we really need to see it break down way below these lows. I mean, it's like 800 points away, so it's still a long way off. This is early days, so don't get all excited about it yet. You know I get excited when there's a sign of a reversal in the indices. Nice turnaround in Dow Jones. Evening star formation has been confirmed, so potentially further downside for that we're expecting today. Nasdaq has a couple of shooting star candles. These look a bit negative. We formed another all-time high yesterday. What are we coming at? 15,728.8, but rejected that. We're on the front foot this morning, but expect to find some resistance up at that 15,700, just above that level. S&P's,
Steve, on
sorry.
Nasdaq. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the MACD.
Lower highs.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would be nice to see that reversal play out, really. S&P's has formed a similar sort of formation. Get rid of the price candle. Evening doji star, evening shooting star formation really looks nice, and That's obviously been confirmed by yesterday's price action. So further downside is my favoured way to play that today. Aussie 200 looks to have stalled. We've had this correction higher, stalled around about a previous swing high from the 16th of September and rejected, moving lower. Again, you can see sort of like volume dropping off as we're rallying, and momentum also stalling, so that you're getting that bearish divergence going on with the volume and the price. China 50 has again stalled at this, hasn't really got up to test it. 16,438 is that resistance line, but we've stalled just in front of it, which is good enough for me. And that looks to be projecting lower. Really needs to see a break of 15,570 to confirm the potential for a more major correction. Bearish outside candle on the Hang Seng a couple of days ago, and that's led to further price action. That's been confirmed by a drop below the 25,827 support and negative price action today. Momentum stalling quite rapidly on the Hang Seng. And again, bearish, shooting star candle from Tuesday. Wednesday was a bearish engulfing candle, so negative all round for the Nikkei also. So all on the back foot on the indices, Joe. I think I've covered everything now. You can maybe tell us if the dollar's driving that gold move or not.
Yeah, so there is weakness in the dollar, and we've seen sort of 2 days of it. We do, however, still remain within this bullish channel, so I'm not sort of, turning bearish at all on the dollar at the moment. And while above this 93.43 support level, I think there is scope for higher prices. But because, yesterday we didn't really go anywhere, it's obviously had a fairly, big knock-on effect elsewhere in currencies. So there's not an awful lot to really go into today. It just is more a case of more of the same. So looking at euro dollar, flip side of this, we've seen a bit of a doji yesterday, a bit of indecision. Still looks like we're going to be heading lower there, while that 116.64 level remains as resistance, which is this black line here. Looking at cable, you'd have expected some moves on that yesterday as a result of the budget, but we still remain below this short-term downtrend line. Yesterday we posted some weakness, but we're engulfing all of that weakness that we saw yesterday so far today. If we look at some of the riskier assets like Aussie US dollar, that remains above this support zone at 74.78 and looks to be heading higher. So although overall dollar still looks pretty robust and pretty strong, it's not been able to outrun what's going on with these commodity currencies at the minute, which continue to move higher. Really quite a big reversal today already. We've gone down to test that 74.78 support, and then we're back up to almost highs of the session on Aussie US dollar. If you take a look at New Zealand US dollar, similar kind of situation on the front foot, broken out of this wedge above these resistance levels and looks to be pushing higher. If we take a quick look at the yen currencies, because obviously they have been pretty rampant to the upside, so yen weakness of late, but this is dollar yen. It's rallied into this resistance at 114.32 and failing to get above it at the moment. So we are potentially in the process of forming a little bit of a top here. I think if we take out these lows that we posted on the 22nd, then we can think about a corrective move down towards these key supports down at 112.28 and down to 111.71. Euro yen, let's have a quick look at that. Similar sort of situation. It's correcting off. Maybe we are forming a bit of a flag here, potentially. Can't rule that out. Maybe just a bit of a correction, a consolidation before a renewed push to the upside. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to cover really on the currencies, Steve.
Brilliant.
Yeah, we'll have a look and see what happens today as a result of all the economic activity that we've got going on. So let's get into the gun to the head trades from yesterday. I went short of cable, trying to play what I expected to be a bit of a volatile session as a result of the UK budget. Managed to come away with 15 ticks or 0.3R. Steve, you sold Bitcoin, got 245 ticks out of it or 0.16R. Not typically what you're looking for when it comes to trading Bitcoin. You expect, as a result of the increased risk of trading a riskier asset, that you get some more volatility than that, but it wasn't to be the case. But I know you are interested in taking a look again today, so do you want to talk us through that, or have you changed your mind?
You know what, I nearly did change my mind. I was like looking at the indices, and I do favor selling the indices, but I'm going to stick with Bitcoin because I don't want to miss out on it, and I don't want to be sort of like, I want to be a hero. Yeah, I mean, for me, I prefer to sell it at 60,000, around about there, just up at this level here. I'm going to get in a bit earlier, so the risk reward won't be as good as I'd like it to be, but I'm still going to fade this current move. Let's put the stop at 60. Well, I'm getting short at, let's round it up to 40. You know how I like to have round numbers on this. 61 to 40, and we're going to go for a move back down. It's only a 3-to-1 risk reward only. Yeah, wouldn't be too shabby. 3-to-1 risk reward. I'm risking 2,000 points to make 6,000 points in the Bitcoin. Yeah, fading this positive move at the moment. And as I say, prefer to sell it higher, but not the case. So getting short at 59,240. It's even higher than that now, so you can benefit from that. 61,240 stop. 53,240, which is down in front of the measured move target for that head and shoulders formation.
Nice. So when you were running through your charts, what really stood out to me and what I noticed from a technical perspective looked quite interesting was Ripple. So I'm going to take a look at some cryptocurrency today as well. So this is the daily chart. It's sort of not really been going anywhere. That's despite Bitcoin going on to make new highs. And obviously we just talked about what's happened with the Shiba coin as well, which is looking very bubble-like indeed. But yesterday we saw quite a sharp reversal in Ripple. This candle here, as you can see, but we're bouncing back today. We're up by nearly 6% on Ripple. So clearly outperforming Bitcoin at the moment, but I only see this as being quite temporary. So the chart that really interested me was Steve's intraday chart on Ripple, and just sort of eyeballing this, I started to notice that maybe there were some potential resistance about to be encountered. So just going by this swing low here and drawing it through these levels here. So we didn't actually see a close below this level. And looking at the rally today, we've rallied pretty much bang into that level again on the underside this time. So I think that's a pretty good opportunity to sell. So I'm going to get short now at 105.17. I'm going to place a stop loss just there at 108.31. And I'm going to target a move down to these overnight lows that we posted. Sorry, the level that we were at yesterday morning on Ripple at 94.76. So looking for 3.3 R on Ripple today. That's my trade of the day.
Nice one.
Cool. So in terms of what's going on today, I mean, we're looking at what should be non-correlated assets, but there is a lot going on the macro side of things. We already had German unemployment out at 12:45 today. We've got the ECB rate decision. Rates are expected to remain on hold, but given the strong inflation data, there could be some commentary around the outlook, which could influence the euro currency and the euro crosses and also eurozone indices. So be aware of that happening at 12:45. You are likely to see some increase in volatility. At 1 p.m., so shortly after that, we have the German inflation number. So obviously the ECB will be addressing inflation directly, we would have thought, and probably have a bit of an idea about what's going to come out from these German numbers as well. So that may give us a bit of an indication as to what to expect at 1 o'clock. Price is expected to rise at 4.2% year on year. Then at 1:30, we have the latest quarterly third quarter GDP reading from the US. Growth is expected to be 3.2% quarter on quarter from 6.7% in quarter two. We also have at the same time the weekly initial jobless claims expected to fall to 283,000. Then at 3 p.m. we have the US pending home sales figure for September. Sales rose 8.1% month on month in August. So we have that period between 12:45 today and 1:30 where there is quite a lot of high impact data out. So be aware if you are trading, it could be pretty volatile. Anything else to add, Steve?
No, that's all, mate.
Lovely. Right. Well, have a great day, everybody. I will be off for a week now, so you'll be in the very capable hands of Mr. O'Hare for the next week, and I'll be back, pretty soon. So trade safe in the meantime, everyone.
Cheers.
Bye bye.